Hello nerdlings, thank you for joining me on this afternoon to talk Dragon of Icespire Peak. I hope you're well. Things over here are going good. Really excited because tonight comes the Dragon Week video that I made for the Pointy Hat Ginny D week that they do. They did Kraken Week last week and this year it's Dragon Week, and yeah, I put some effort into that video. So I'm hoping it gets noticed by those two showrunners, as it were. But we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about Dragon Barrow, which is the second tier of quests that we get if we're running this game. So yeah, hope you're alright. Hope everyone's good. It's bank holiday here in England and it's been quite chill, so I'm off tomorrow. Today I've been working on Nangalore, the chapter in Tomb of Annihilation, which is quite a big one. So I've been writing the script for that. Glad to see that my Tomb of Annihilation series has taken somewhat, slightly off. Micah, my dude, good morning. Yeah, so let's have a look. Let's see what's going down. Hope you're well, Micah. It is pronounced Micah, I presume. Or am I being ignorant? It's possible. Let me get rid of this banner. And we should go to the actual page. Why do we have to go to Dragon Barrow? Let us see. That will be right at the beginning. In Phandalin, the adventure begins. Let's just get to grips with the suggestion, because we're in Phandalin. Hey, let's go to the job board. We've done some adventures. We're a bit stronger. These other quests have arrived, and it looked to me like Dragon Barrow quest would be an obvious next move. Excuse me. Right, the dragon that besets us is not the first to threaten this region. Okay, so a dragon attack, for one thing, is absolutely devastating, and so everybody would know the lore that a dragon attacked here before. Between here and Neverwinter, the big city, lies the Barrow Mound, a hill, of a warrior whose magical dragon-slaying sword helped kill a green dragon that was terrorising the high road, which is the main thoroughfare. Rumour has it that the Dragon Slayer sword is buried there too. Now, if rumour has it that it's buried there, why hasn't it already been found? Because there must have been many people would have already found it. Retrieve it and let the sword be its own reward. Okay, we'll go with it. That's why we want to go. Yeah, a sword sounds cool. Which of course it does. Micah, confirmation. Thank you, mate. Yeah, so that's why we're going. I mean, who doesn't want a dragon-slaying sword? But what's a dragon-slaying sword? The players will ask. You'll find out when you get there. But I want to know now. I'm the DM. It's right at the end. Dragon Slayer sword is a longsword. You get a +1 to attack and damage. I mean, I'll take that. When you hit a dragon, now whatever falls under the dragon category, even kobolds now, the dragon takes an extra 3d6 points of slashing damage. For the purpose of this weapon, dragon, refers to any creature with a dragon type, including dragon turtles, which you're not going to be fighting often, and wyverns, that's more likely. Proficiency with a longsword allows you to add your proficiency bonus to the attack roll. Yes, we knew that, didn't we? For any attack you make with it. I guess it's a starter adventure, people might need to know that. This weapon has the following mastery property. Oh, weapon mastery. They've added weapon mastery. They've updated it. I see. If you hit a creature with this weapon, the creature has disadvantage on its next attack roll. But why? I ask you, why would just hitting something why would a sword hitting you give you disadvantage? And when you hit a creature, it doesn't say it has to be a dragon. So maybe it absorbs energy. Maybe that's the thing. And if it can absorb a little bit of energy from a dragon, then it can that equates to a hell of a lot of energy from a kobold. Do you know what I mean? Or what I mean is somebody small, a halfling, hitting a halfling. Maybe that's it. Maybe its power comes from the extra d6 of points of slashing damage is like energy that it's sucked in from hitting other things. I like that idea. Let's go back. Okay, just crossed my mind. Getting there. Now, okay. The idea is that, although this is pinch of salt time, 5th level, 4th level, I would not worry about that. You'll have a feel for this at the time. Characters of 6th level or higher should have no problem. So you add more things if you have to. I mean, there's no real dragon fight, is there? No, doesn't look like it. So we get some lore, and as I say, I was thinking to myself, why do they put this lore in a lot of the time when you're like, well, that's good for me, but that's not something you inherently just walking along the road, you get an info dump. But as I just sort of counteracted, people, if people asked, then the townsfolk, the people in the area would remember it was such a massive thing that a dragon attacked the area. So, okay, fair enough. So a royal lady from Neverwinter over 100 years ago, along with two parties of adventurers, fought and killed Azdraka, a green dragon, poison dragon, that had long terrorised the high road. It finally needed doing, and so not just one group of heroes, but two. And Lady Alagondar died in the battle and was laid to rest beneath a barrow near where the dragon fell. Now let me just look. We get a false tomb, that's for sure, but why would she be buried exactly where the dragon is? The remains of her fallen compatriots and the corpse of the dragon were sealed in the dragon with her, in accordance with Lady Alagondar's dying wishes. I don't know why that bothers me, but it is what it is. It's just me. What you must do to complete this quest is steal the Dragon Slayer longsword. Now, I always have a problem when it comes to like paladins. Would they really want to steal from, like royalty, for example? Is that really heroic? I'm sure there's a way they're like, yeah, it's alright. But, the player... I thought paladins weren't to be goody-goodies. So, we talk about travel. And let's see what it says. It's 40 miles travel along rolling hills and grasslands between the high road, the main road, and Neverwinter Wood. Since the characters can roughly travel 24 miles in one day, and they're supposed to get 3 encounters a day, not necessarily all fights, but it's a good idea as a rule of thumb to give them 3 scenes a day. One of them could include eating, cleaning themselves, but whether it's a cart going past and giving them the option of is something happening here? Is this of importance? Do the players thinking, do I need to interact with this cart? Just give them 3 things on the way normally, and they should expect to take a long rest in the wilderness. So, okay, a cold wind blowing from the coast, bringing occasional rain. It's a good little piece of information that for sort of, okay, they have to rest at some point. So it's windy and rainy. Where are you going to rest? Are you going to veer into the woods, or are you going to stay out in the middle near the main road where carts may come, including bandits? there's some information there to embellish travel. Where are you going to camp? How safe is it? Who is keeping watch? Which is something I rarely keep track of, but I do enjoy it when I remember. So that's a long way, and as I say, 3 encounters, and if we jump to my little helping book, meadow encounters. A scarecrow sits near a fence as they travel. Some players might notice its head turns before it darts towards the party. Fighting a scarecrow for no other reason than it's the weirdness of D&D. Let them have a fight. What's probably easy for them to overcome, but that sounds like fun. Territorial hornets have a huge nest within a tree knot or a beehive on a tree and will violently chase off any trespassers. So it's nothing too hassly, it just paints the rolling hill travel as something of interest. So this book says, walking through a scenic flat meadow gives the players a 360-degree view of the world around them, which can make random encounters, especially sneaky ones, very difficult to initiate. However, the open plains can be used to your advantage. The players will struggle to hide from aerial attacks or from creatures who burrow underground, leading to a burrowing creature has made an underground lair in the middle of a fenced-off field, killing all the grass. This field, all the grass is dead, yet everything around it's fine. Why? They might be curious, go investigate. You can have whatever you want burst up from the ground. 12 sheep grazing in the field, but they are spooked by a hungry griffin flying overhead looking for a meal. You get the idea. Just some options as to, along the way, paints the picture. And then you rest, and then you say, maybe even make them roll, which is kind of the mechanic. They roll a d20. If they get generally over at 18, 19 or 20, something happens. Yeah, it really depends where you are in the game, whether you've just come off the back of an encounter or not. Okay. After being driven from his home in Neverwinter Wood by orcs, Xanth the Centaur has taken refuge in the hills around the Barrow. He spots the characters, and Xanth actually peacefully approaches and shares some information. So, okay, this Centaur comes forward on his own, you know. I mean you no harm. Wait, what is your business here? Are you just passing through? You know. Well, what's your business here? Well, I live around here. We're just going up to the Dragon Barrow to steal a famous sword. Ah, yes, I've heard of the legend of the sword. I watch over this place, and at night I've seen strange lights over there. Which lights? That kind of hints at will-o'-wisps, but it says the hill is haunted by the restless spirits of the dead. So perhaps that's something that you can embellish, that it's not just will-o'-wisps, it's ghostly lights. It doesn't say anything else about it, I don't think. But yeah, the spirits of the dead. That's quite an interesting thing if they get there at night. Neverwinter Wood is overrun with orcs, in league with half-orc spellcasters. That's cool. Deep in the forest, atop a cave-riddled hill, is a circle of standing stones where the evil half-orcs perform the dark rites. Right, guys, we're not doing down this Barrow thing. We're going into the woods with this fella. Show us where it is. We're gonna, and then instantly you're like, what? Can't you do this adventure? That sort of thing happens, doesn't it? But yeah, fighting orcs and spellcasters sounds like hard work. We'll look at orcs if I remember. Xanth avoids Dragon Barrow and would like to see the half-orc spellcasters driven off or killed. He offers to guide the characters to the Circle of Thunder if they wish to take on the half-orcs there, and is willing to wait until the characters are done exploring the Barrow. So that's a bit of that could be a detour that makes you go, well, I've prepped the bloody Barrow chapter. Anyway, we will get here. We'll get to the Circle of Thunder. That's 40 miles away, deep within the forest. You better try and get them to do what you've prepped. saying in this weather, you know, it's going to be boggy, it's going to take twice as long. Make Dawn Barrow the closer from where they are getting this information. There's a sarcophagi with heavy granite lids, airtight. It's a DC 20 strength athletics. Pretty standard stuff for something heavy to be moved. Arrival. Just pause. I'm just looking for comments. No one. I'm on different pages here. Can't see if you comment. Arrival. A 30-foot hill ahead of you. Its top is flat, and then jutting out is 10 rows of 10-foot tall bones. Pretty interesting. This must be the place, guys. Yeah, you can't probably tell. I mean, they know legend has it that it was a dragon fell here. So at night, will-o-wisps, sure enough, emerge from the hill using their incorporeal movement and float above the barrow, hoping to attract prey. If they detect characters nearby, they turn invisible and withdraw into the barrow. So, centaur, hopefully they don't fight the centaur, but let's look if they fight the centaur, what happens. Because you never know. They might just get off a shot. Let's go to this. They get off a shot and instantly there's a fight. Who are you shooting at? Boom. And then this. So, am I on the right thing here? I think so. Boop. Right. Okay, centaurs in the 2024 Player's Handbook. Upper bodies like humans, lower bodies of horses. They charge into battle against those who would harm their allies. The Centaur Warden, AC 16. A little bit above, with a large fare. These are huge things, that's why they've got 100 average health. And speed of 50 foot. They're not meant to be fighting it, but you just can't trust these players. I would say it would defensively get off a blast of maybe Sunray, blinding somebody if possible, and then being like, I mean you no harm, and just instantly leave rather than it's not going to fight to the death. It's going to be like, I've come for help, bullied by orcs. If you have a go at me, I'm off. But what's Druidcraft do? Predicts the weather. Not much then. Bonus action, it moves up to its speed, it moves fast. So really all we've got is it can smack you with a staff. Or it can... But I like the blinding. Blinds you and runs away seems like a good defensive move. Oh, a trooper. That's even less health. Only it's half the health. It has a pike and a longbow and a trampling charge. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Don't worry about the health. So they're both large. So you got a choice there. I'd put those together, have those stat blocks all in one and think I can do whatever move from either of these stat blocks. It doesn't matter, but hopefully your players will not attack the centaur. We pray. Go back to this. I haven't shown it yet. Share screen. Dawn Barrow. Are we good? We good. Dragon Barrow even. So we didn't look at Will-o'-the-Wisps. Okay, we'll go there later. So we can see that. Oh, there's a burial mound. So this burial mound is where Queen Woman's buried. I see. So that's why I didn't remember it in the adventure. So it's a slow climb. And you just know it's a weird shaped hill until you get on the top, I suppose. And the elevation is 30 feet up. And you could probably eventually understand that it seems like a rib cage back. Not a rib cage, but something coming off the spine at the back. Now there's a secret entrance on the top. And the player's map, obviously, does not have anything like that. So it's a matter of remembering exactly which spine which is number 3 from the bottom of the picture, is the secret entrance. One of these white rocks, bones, acts as a stone plug in the earth. So they can perhaps see that maybe it seems depressed a little or wonky, like it's just been coming in and out. By lashing ropes around the rock, I would make it a spine, a backbone thing. The characters can topple it over. A knock spell causes it to topple over. Okay, that would be a waste of a knock spell. I'd say if they all work together, it comes out. And there's a spiral staircase with flagstone steps because it was built properly and purposefully. And then in D2, as we get inside, we go down the steps, and at the bottom of those steps are the spirits in will-o'-wisp form. They are invisible until the intruders come in. Then they illuminate and move to the far side of 3 concealed pit traps, hoping to lure intruders to their doom. Each wisp has its own pit and attacks any character falling into it. So they're invisible, hoping that some idiots fall into the pit trap. If they don't do checks to find the traps, they fall in. So let's go back to will-o'-wisps because I'm curious now. Stop it. What do I do? Stop screen. Do this. Share screen. Monster manual. Because I don't think I've looked at will-o'-wisps in this edition, which is pretty much the case with every monster. I'm more excited to see if they're better, just because I like the new stuff. See, that's an image. What is great? What is it? Those little smoky things are will-o'-wisps. Okay, I suppose. They look like lanterns bobbing in the dark. I think most people know will-o'-wisps are dangerous. Certainly, if you've been around them once in game, you're like, yeah, okay, don't trust them. They tempt victims into abandoned structures ready to collapse, which is pretty much what they are doing now. They're tiny undead. Resistant to things, okay. Immune to lightning, poison, God, all sorts. They have dark vision. Okay, that makes some sense. They can't wear or carry anything, yes. They shed light, because they are flying lights. They can move through you. It takes 5 force damage if it ends its turn inside an object. I like the idea of them doing some sort of force damage by flying right through you. I would, just say 5 standard damage if they move through you, which they could just move backwards and forwards. And sort of steal a bit of your soul. So they shock, +4, 11 lightning damage. Yeah. I didn't realise they shocked you. That's quite cool. Bonus action. If you have 0 hit points, the target dies and the wisp regains health. Consume life. Yeah, so that's why it makes more sense. If the wisp passes through a player, have it suck a little bit of life for them. And how many wisps did we get? 3. So that's 5, 10, 15 if they all go through the same player. If they stay inside a player, how do they get it out? The player has to move and the wisp stays where it is, to reveal itself. That just gives combat a little bit of different new life, I think. We know it can move into invisibility. Oh, it has to concentrate, which ends early, immediately after the wisp makes an attack roll. Yes. So if it's invisible, it can't attack you. They're quite cool. I like that. But remember, they're not will-o'-wisps, really. They're the souls of these adventurers. So we could even take the possession from ghosts, if that's what they actually identify as. Because I do love the possession, if they still do it in this edition. Ghost. Possession, okay. It's a charisma save, DC 13, and the target is possessed by the ghost, or the will-o-wisp. The target has the incapacitated condition and loses control of its body. The ghost now controls the body, but the target retains awareness. The ghost can't be attacked by being because it's inside a body. And the possession lasts until the body is knocked down unconscious to 0 hit points. So the players have to knock down the possessed character. I would say only have one possessed character at a time. And they all have to, like, you know, basically knock out down to 0, which is dangerous, the player. I like that. So that's quite cool. Remove that. This is all very technical. Dragon Barrow. Okay, so that's area 2. We have these ghosts. So I wonder if we can lore drop. Yeah, I wonder if we can lore drop as these will-o-wisp ghosts go into a player, whether we can give them a flashback of that lore that why would they know. Suddenly, as the ghost inside you, and you know everyone they're possessed, their eyes white over, the players can see, oh, this guy's possessed. That the player possessed is like, and suddenly I'm a knight and I'm fighting this green dragon and it's coming towards me and it's about to poison breath me. I roll out of the way. You know, there's some sort of memory and lady so and so, I've forgotten her name. Lady, are you okay? Please, you know, that's quite cool. I like that idea. Concealed pit traps. So where are they on the map? Oh, I see. So from D2, yeah, they get lured into 3 directions because there's 3 different traps. Ah, that's nice. I'm in favour of that. So it's 10 foot deep. Rows of rusty swords are embedded. Ooh, ouch. A creature using a pole to prod ahead detects the pit. Any creature that steps on it takes 1d6 and impales for 1d4. Each of which deals... Oh, 1d4 swords, which... So, okay, so the fall damage is a d6, fine. And then 1d4, well, I'd do 4. Naturally, you know, I'd do 4, I'd roll 4 1d6s and let fate justify. You fall on the sword and take 1 health, 4 swords and do 1 health of damage. Well done to you. Because it's unlikely. So further on from the pits in D4, we have a little sneaky tunnel to D5. So let's look at that. Hang on. I've skipped D4. D4! Robodad. Skeletal surprise. The bones and rotting saddle of Lady Alagondar's horse lies in the southern niche of this cavern. When a creature approaches, they knit together and rise as a skeletal horse. That's cool. The steed has statistics of a riding horse, except that it's undead. So, are we saying that a horse can actually get up these steps? We're going to have to. Unless there's another way out that comes up. I mean, they could take the skeleton apart. Maybe so. What about that? What about, like, if you pull one of its bones out, it just all collapses in a pile of bones that you put in a bag? That's kind of funny. Riding horse, let's look at the old stats. To hell with the news. 60 feet speed. It's only one horse. It can carry stuff though, I suppose. So one player could have it. But would it really leave the... Well, evidently it would. Leave the Lady Alagondar's side. I mean, it's undead. It bonds with any character who wants to ride it. It ain't fussy. It really ain't fussy. Now to a narrow tunnel, D5. This tunnel is only 2 feet wide. So the horse isn't going to get through there. At the halfway point, a 5-foot pressure plate is hidden under earth. The first characters to step on it causes the walls of the tunnel to collapse in, burying all creatures in the tunnel. Wow. A buried creature is blinded and restrained but has total cover. That was not the kind of total cover we want. It begins to suffocate when it runs out of breath. Only a creature that is not trapped in the tunnel can clear away the collapse. Only a creature that's not in there can clean it out. Ergo, if all players are in this tunnel, they're buried and dead. I don't think that's going to play out very well. Let's look at suffocation. And I have never been truly satisfied with how suffocation works. Rules glossary. And this is the new version of it. Suffocation. A creature can hold its breath for a number of minutes equal to 1 plus its constitution modifier. Let's say its constitution modifier is +2. So that is 3 minutes. Then it says minimum of 30 seconds. Now 3 minutes and 30 seconds is different. To have 30 seconds, you'd have to have minus in your con mod. And 30 seconds of round by round is 5 player rounds, right, in combat. That says minimum, and I also think that 5 rounds suffocating in my D&D game is the maximum I want them to have. So I would say not number of minutes, I would say number of rounds equal to 1 plus its con mod, because after that it's not dead. After that it is choking and gains 1 level of exhaustion at the end of each of the next rounds. So imagine you've got 5 rounds maximum, then you've got 1 level of exhaustion. 2. Now, exhaustion works differently, doesn't it? It just gives you like a negative to your... These days, it gives you a negative because it used to... Have they? Oh yeah, they've replaced this hyperlink in this adventure to the new rules, which I can't knock them for. So yeah, each test is reduced by 2 times your exhaustion level. You die if your exhaustion level is 6. That's all I'm really looking for. You die. So that would be my way to do suffocation. Not equal minutes, but equal to rounds, which is 6 seconds, I know. But you try holding your breath for 1 minute plus your constitution modifiers worth of minutes. Can't be done. I bet you struggle at 40 seconds. Therefore, that should be the max. That is my 2 pence worth, for what it's worth. That's my fix for suffocation. So this tunnel collapses. Let's get back to the thing. The tunnel collapses on you, and you better hope that not everybody is in there. Boop. Narrow tunnel, suffocated. So that it's 2 foot wide. So yeah, you don't have to go that way. It's just that there is a way, but it's dangerous. So you gotta hope that not everyone gets in there. You could make the tunnel wider, of course, but yeah, maybe have it look it's a dark, thin, claustrophobic tunnel. You don't know exactly where it goes to. And then some people can be like no, some people can be like yes. D6. D6 is a nice big room. false tomb. 2 sealed stone sarcophagi rest in alcoves dug into the wall, as we saw. Each sarcophagus releases a cloud of corrosive dust when opened, and we saw that opening of them is a DC 20 athletics check, unless 2 people are helping each other, then I'd say they have to both add up to 20 at least, Any creature in the area makes a dex save. Jumping out of the way, because it's acid. 4d6 acid damage, half on a success, and then as the cloud disappears, the dust settles on the floor. The sarcophagi contains nothing of interest because she's not really buried there. Nobody's actually buried there. Boring. So we've got traps there, yes. But what would I put in there? It just feels like one either is probably more likely going to have, I don't know, something like, what would it be? A dust mephit? Something like that? Or several dust mephits who could happily live in there not having to breathe. Basically protecting the tomb from looters. But as I say, I just think more and more people would have come here already. So how about dead adventurers in there? Bodies who people have come to plunder and died. Something like that. And they walk all the way over D7. There's 2 rooms left. They walk over to D7. And in D7 is Adventurer's Sepulchre. 4 sarcophagi in alcoves. Wait, we have already learnt. We looked in those last ones. We're not stupid enough to open these again unless it's with a long stick. These are a bard, a cleric, a fighter and a wizard who fought with the lady from Neverwinter, the treasure. One of the sarcophagi contains a dead bard, buried with a loot of illusions, and sealed with the dead wizard is a sarcophagi of necklace of fireballs. Ooh, necklace of fireballs, love that. A loot of illusions. Let's see. It's a magical loot. You can create visual effects, I like that, within a 5-foot area, okay. Centered on the instrument. If you're a bard, the radius increases to 15 feet, that's much better. Sample visual effects include luminous musical notes, a spectral dancer, butterflies and gently falling snow. That's going to be great if your bard is the sort of person who rocks up in inns while you go doing some deals and they're like, I want to make some coin. That's cool. The magical effects have neither substance nor sound. They are obviously illusory, which is why you need somebody with prestidigitation to use the noise part, and they team up and just absolutely rake in the money. Rolling 2d20s for every pub, and that's how much gold they make. That's my play. And the other one is a necklace of fireball. Do it. The necklace has 1d6 plus 3 beads hanging from it, which is crazy. You can throw one of these beads as fireball. 3 fireball spells in your hand. If you throw the whole thing though, it's a nuke. Increase the level of fireball by 1. It's just absolutely crazy damage, and I do love that item. I wonder if they did anything to that in the new DMG. I hope not. We can look. So for some reason you've got false tombs, which I don't really get when you've got real tombs with bodies and treasure in. It is what it is. Who am I to have to explain it? You're going number 8. 2 sarcophagi, again, in alcoves, contain the moulded bones and rusty armour of the Lady Tanamir Alagondar and her faithful squire, but nothing of value. Nothing of value? Where's the sword? The area north of the sarcophagi has the bones of a dragon embedded in the walls and a dragon's skull rests on the floor, and the longsword is just set on top of it. It's simply right there and on top of it. Innate, yeah, because its skull's there. That's weird, isn't it? Makes no sense. It's not really protected at all. Fair enough. The Dragon Slayer sword. Yeah, it's awesome. Only one person can have it. We might have to check that out in the new rules, see if there's any difference. If the sword is taken, an invisible stalker appears and attacks anyone. And the invisible stalker, I imagine, is actually the squire protecting it. Let's go to the new monster manual and see what we're working with. That's not right. Wrong button. Share screen, monsters. Check you're seeing it. Yes. Where GHI? And again. And again I. Invisible Stalker. Magic and malice give form to invisible stalkers, bodiless spirits of the air. They pass unseen. They can move objects, battle foes. They relentlessly pursue their quarry. That fits. Okay, challenge 6. So this is the fight that people expect, really. It's invisible. 97 health on average and 136. That's not right. 130, 40, 50, 156. Full. It's immune to paralyze. It's not immune to stunned. I'm giving it immune to stun as well. I'm not having that nasty stun player breaking my fun. It can enter an enemy's space and stop there. It's invisible. What about if it attacks? It makes 3 wind swipe attacks. So you have disadvantage on hitting it because it's invisible. It has advantage against you because you don't know where it is. It's a +7. Roll twice with advantage. Hit. Force damage. Now it's uncommon to have things against force damage. That's good. So Vortex. One large or smaller creature in the stalker's space. So it gets in your space, it does Vortex. You make a save, a con save. You're grappled in the centre of a hurricane, I guess. And you can't cast spells with a verbal component because it's sucking your wind out. You can't breathe. I'd say you're suffocating too. You take 7 thunder damage? That's kind of cool. And what if your players are trying to hit it? I guess if you don't hit the AC of 14, you hit 13 or under, you hit the player that's being vortexed. Which is cool, isn't it? So that is a good final boss. Nothing wrong with that. Where does that leave us? With my alternatives. Okay, let me summarise this bad boy. We go up to the map just for background's sake. Right. So, dragon bones erupt from the earth. We've gone there to retrieve a dragon slaying sword. Is it still there? We don't know. It's 2 days travel, so we've got travel encounters, rest, someone's on watch. Maybe give them some, when they're on watch, give them something moving in the shadows. Have them decide, do they want to wake the rest of the players? And if they wake the rest of the players, it interrupts a long rest, so they don't get the hit points restored until they restart a long rest. Have that single player see something moving, and you could have it be a badger, you could have it be a rabbit. You know, you can decide at the time, you go over and fight something small, I don't know, a fox. You know, a fox who just can smell the camp's food. They get to Stone Barrow, they meet a centaur not too far away. Strange lights are seen over Dragon Barrow. We've had the clue. Orcs are a problem. Do you want me to take you to this other place and help me out with an orc problem? Maybe. Area 1 is the stone plug at the top. Area 2, the will-o'-wisps, potentially fighting on top or potentially disappearing in and showing basically that there's a plug on top that went in this way. Pit traps are strategically spread. We've got a skeletal horse that can become a riding horse. Tunnels collapse with suffocation. Corrosive dust coming out of sarcophagi. And then we've got some with treasure. A huge dragon skull at the end with a dragon sword. Guarded by an invisible stalker. Now, as an alternative to what is in this finale, I put, can we not make a puzzle out of arranging the bones of the dragon here, perhaps? Shadows or elemental spirits kind of guarding this energy of old ancient magic. You know, but I just like the sword having to be gained by a puzzle. Maybe we've got a ghostly small dragon, like a wyvern, actually fights them. So they're fighting a wyvern in this small room at the end. And they've got a dragon slayer sword to immediately use against its intended best enemy. That's cool. And I was thinking even on the outside, I know you've got will-o'-wisps, so have you got like vines? Can we put a weird garden and plants going around it that also protect this area? And if it's a dragon, what if in the sarcophagi some people have put dragon eggs? Because, you know, it is a thing that people want baby dragons as, you know, part of the party, and it's a real bad move to try and bring up a dragon. It's not like How to Train Your Dragon, the book. You know, these things eat all the time. When they bite, you know about it. When they use their powers like a bark, you get dragon breathed all the time. And, you know, ultimately you've got to make it worth the dragon sword that they will get. And that's pretty much this chapter, right? So I think we're done here. And I looked at the next one I'm going to do is the Tower of Swords. And the Tower of Swords actually looks really good. I had a flick through it, and I think, you know, this was quite a short little chapter. Micah. I made the sword like the King Arthur sword. 3 good cons pulls. Yes! That's absolutely valid, yeah. Rather than just having it on the top of the skull, they have to actually obtain it. Or we could say only people of good alignment can pull it out. That makes sense, doesn't it? Micah, then fight the invisible stalker. Yeah, and having yeah, you could tie up one person trying to pull out that sword while an invisible stalker attacks with the 3 checks, and maybe the stalker is only going for that person, so they can't fight back because they're pulling on this dragon sword. The invisible stalker is the soul of the dragon. It makes sense. What a DM. He's so grateful to have the sword removed. He allows the party 30 seconds to get out before he and the mound rise up and the bones fly away. That's interesting. I like your thinking. Yes. That is good. That what a finish. You get the sword and actually in the end you've released the soul. I like it. And then the ground would still be of history. It would still be dragon shaped. And just lies there for everyone to see. Well, this story was an old story and then a second story where people actually came, and now you can see the remains. My party was in awe and loved watching the bone dragon fly away with a promise to help one time if needed. Of course, you could go the other way and have it become a Dracolich, which is a boned dragon. Dracolich, am I going crazy? Let's just look at monsters. And what can you see? You can see that. Boop. Right, we're going for the Dracolich. Dracolich. I don't think I've ever... Have I? I think I might have run a Dracolich once. Okay, it looks damn cool. Although this is going down the bad route, I suppose, isn't it? Which is not what you were saying, but... Whatever, let's just say it is. Ooh, this thing is too hard. That is too hard. There's no smaller version. Okay. So yeah, just basically skeletonize some sort of dragon. You could do a young dragon. Yeah, I like the idea. It's good. We can all work together and make these DM guides. So yeah, between me and Micah, that's our suggestions at running this chapter, and I believe we're done, guys. Another Sunday. I hope you enjoy your weekend. Take it easy. Look out for my Dragon Week video. Give it a watch. I need the views. Give it a like to help push it to other people. And take it easy. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next Sunday with a longer chapter.